like we said, latest news. So we're gonna jump right into the latest news. The talk of Sadie Sink, star from Stranger Things, who was probably a part of the most talked about scene, probably like in the last 2 decades. Like everyone talked about that whole scene in Stranger Things when she was like running for her life. Anyway, then like 3 years later, we get the next season. But Sadie Sink, she was long rumored to be the new Jean Grey, right, for X-Men, which I thought would work great, redhead, things like that. But then today, surprise, surprise, Sadie Sink has been cast. I think this is all confirmed now in the new Spider-Man 4 undisclosed role. Just initially, Jules, what are you thinking? Or have you seen her stuff before with Stranger Things? Or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched Stranger Things like probably half the country at least. That last season was amazing. She did a great job. And I actually am kind of relieved that she's not Jean Grey. I don't think she has the look for Jean Grey, specifically what I envision. But I love this that she is in the MCU in some capacity, and I'm curious to see who she's going to be in this film. I hope they give her someone with powers and not just some random girl that he's in school with.
Mm-hmm. First, a shout out to Marcus. We are on X Twitter. Let me make sure I'm shouting this out. We're on X Twitter. We're on Rumble. We're on Carlos' YouTube channel and his X Twitter account as well too. So any platform you're watching this on, engage, share it, however you do, much appreciated. But interesting take there, Jules. Do you have a guess? I mean, I know you said someone with powers, but just off top of the cuff, who you guess you would be?
I mean, it would be really interesting if they actually brought back the real Mary Jane, because she does kind of fit that. Even though I would like to see a course correction there, because what they did with Collins Universe is kind of whack. But yeah, like Marcus said, maybe Starfire from the original, Spider-Man cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this MJ thing, y'all sound like Star Wars fans, like what they call the Phantom Menace, because y'all want to retcon everything. Jules,
there was no reason for them to do what they did with Spider-Man. I'm sorry, like they just completely botched that whole thing.
I feel you. I'm not gonna push back anymore on you on that. We got Speedy here.
Oh, what's up, guys?
What's up, Speedy?
What's going on, everybody?
All right, you got fries with that, right? They gave you fries.
No. All I had time was for chips. That was it. I got some Fritos. That's it. You can't see because I blurred.
It's all good. Well, obviously this is a casual show, so if you got a munch down, just make sure you're muted. I appreciate it.
I will.
But Carlos, your thoughts on this story? Sadie Sink, likely not Jean Grey, right? I was kind of hoping, opposite of what Jules was saying, I was kind of hoping a young Jean Grey would work for her. But Carlos, what do you think of this report and who you think she's playing?
I mean, honestly, I was kind of like, when I did hear about the whole Jean Grey thing, I was kind of like, not taken back, but kind of like intrigued by it, because I was like, man, how young are they going with these X-Men? But to hear now that she's going to be on Spider-Man, I mean, my first thought was like, because since she's played a young teenager for so long in Stranger Things, I'm like, how old is she? Old enough to be, a love interest or something like that, for Peter Parker. And then, I started hearing, I think we talked about it in the chat earlier about this whole Starfire thing. I think if they do go that route, I really hope, since X-Men now is in the MCU, we get to. I love seeing the Spider-Man and its Amazing Friends. I really loved that show back in the days. I remember growing up watching it, and I would love to see that, especially with this new Peter Parker, who's kind of like trying to figure things out on his own. He meets these two, future X-Men, and they created together. So I'm kind of hoping Starfire, but it could be Gwen Stacy. We don't know. He's going to college now.
Interesting. Speed, I don't know if you got that news earlier.
Yeah.
From Stranger Things. What's your thoughts on this, and who you think she's playing this undisclosed role?
Well, a lot of people think it's supposed to be a Jean Grey. That was the big rumor mill. But now that I've seen this, I mean, I think a Firestar is not out of the question. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think a Firestar is not out of the question.
Let's just lean into it here. Yeah,
and Firestar is still a mutant. So there's still that connection. So I could see maybe that confusion. you know, where the rumor came from, the Jean Grey rumor, you know, to being
Mhm.
this new development for casting for Spider-Man 4. I see, you know, and Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not, right? Then we're
Yeah,
gonna need
why
an
not?
Iceman, like Marcus was saying in the chat, and late great Mikey Sutton said this before the strikes and everything got pushed back with the Spider-Man, this new Spider-Man trilogy. He put out there Firestar, Iceman, in the next trilogy of Holland Spider-Man, in that college setting, like you were saying, Carlos. So this is all kind of lining up. Now again, there's this other contingency, like Jules was saying, like, hey, can we retcon MJ? Now I'm just saying Zendaya is still in the next trilogy, so I don't think they're gonna retcon her as MJ.
I don't know about
Well,
that.
I mean, if Jules ain't happy about that much, I think what they are trying to do is, though, like, again, like, since Peter is alone now, they are trying to make, you know, that if they do go this route, it's like having that same like buddy group where he had Ned and MJ. Now it'll be Firestar and
Ooh,
Iceman,
I like
kind of
that.
replacing them a little bit, you know. So I mean
Yeah.
that could be something to think about as well.
That's an interesting concept. Like you said, they're trying to follow that template, that buddy group. You know, they kind of wipe that out, at least for now, Ned and MJ. And then you want to replace that in college, right? That makes sense. That actually makes sense. See, Peter still remembers Zendaya. Yeah, I know they're trying to erase her, Marcus. I can't, you know, I'm just going off the
Oh,
opinions of people. They're trying to erase her.
I mean,
They,
you know, a big thing in Spider-Man's lore is the you know, the all the loves in his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just
The
gonna say
Mhm.
Black Cat
that.
and you know, all his girl friends. You know, that encircle him. Gwen Stacy's and the, you know, I mean, we can go on and on and on.
Anybody who watched the 90s animated series
Yeah,
knows that Peter Parker was a little bit of a playboy in college. So
yeah, you
would
know,
love to see them explore that a little bit.
This show, I think he does date Firestar as well for a little bit. So
Hmm.
he's a player. He's definitely a player.
You know, he grew into it a little bit, you know, in
But that's
college
usually what
years,
happens when
like,
nerds
like
all of a
most of
sudden get
us.
some
Yeah.
self-esteem there.
Yeah, story of my life. Yeah. So with with that, because we're saying like possibilities, the only one, I mean, first off, the retcon idea, I know she's a redhead, so I get it. Everyone wants her to be MJ now, but I like the Firestar. I don't like if it's Gwen Stacy. I would hate if they cast her to be Gwen Stacy
Too
because
early.
Gwen's not a redhead. Like, if you're gonna cast a redhead, let's just let her play a redhead character. Like, let's not dye her hair
Let's
and
not
stuff.
dye her hair, ruin her
Yeah,
locks.
yeah, no, let's not do
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say
She's a redhead.
they need to put a wig on her, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, let the red hair. Shout out to the redheads out there. You know I don't talk to y'all a lot, but you know, shout out
There's
to the
not that
redheads.
many of them. We gotta preserve the redheads.
I'm just saying. But now, so that's one thing. I like some ideas. Gwen Stacy, I don't. And then also, if this is another Ralph Boner moment, then I'm gonna hate Marvel forever. If she's just playing some kind of
Just a
off-brand
random ass.
character, yeah, do not do
yeah,
that.
I'm not feeling that either.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing to do.
So,
We got that already in the first Homecoming film. We don't need that again. Like move on from it.
yeah, don't play with us. Like I said, this is Sadie Sink. Her name has been growing. You know, again from a hot show. Like Jules is saying, everyone watched Stranger Things, so she's a up and coming name. You know, use her right. Let's use her right and get her a good role. So we'll see. But Spider-Man 4 is getting a little more interesting as far as what they're doing now. In other Marvel news, and I guess things being interesting. We got a Black Widow update. ScarJo went scorched the earth, saying Black Widow is dead. Natasha is dead. She is dead.
It's all cap, y'all.
Dead. She says, okay.
It's
Fans
all
just
cap.
don't want to believe it. They're like, but she could come back. And she says, look, I think the balance of the entire universe is held in her hand. That's kind of cap. We're going to have to let her go. Save the world. Let her have her hero moment. Instantly, Speedy, you called cap on it.
Yeah, that's called cap. Yeah, that's a diversion play right there.
Mhm.
Diversion tactic. You know, don't look at this.
I'm not the werewolf.
I'm talking
I'm
about
not the
this.
werewolf.
I don't want to answer these questions anymore. because you know
Or she just can't say anything
I
because
just got out of this
sniper.
settlement with Disney. You know.
Yeah, there's a sniper nearby just in case she does let out the big secret there. So
Yeah.
obviously she can't say anything.
She's dead, 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 Carlos. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, nah, 100%. Like I honestly that whole lawsuit thing, like you know, they're like, look, you got one more chance. You say something, it's done. So she's probably like, look, she's been hanging around with Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh been hanging around with Andrew Garfield. He threw out the werewolf, and there you go.
I'm not the werewolf. That was one of the biggest lies. Like in real time, I think most of us called out Garfield. Like, hold on, bro. Like, we love your work, but you're lying to our face. We have pictures of you already in the film. So with her, we know the OG Avengers are coming back now. Hey, you know, wiggle room here. Maybe she's playing a different version of the character, just like RDJ. RDJ could come up here and say, hey, Tony Stark is dead. Yeah, he's coming back as Doom, Victor Von Doom. So different character.
Yeah,
I think that's the same thing.
Or her variant is dead, but then they'll just get another variant. Like they have endless supply.
I mean, yeah, it could be like a bad Black Widow or something, you know.
Oh yeah, I like the idea. There's early, I guess, fake leaks out there with the Avengers films, but the whole idea of well, you had those concept art that leaked right last week, which is, you know, that was a real thing there, where RDJ Doom could kind of build like a bad version of the OG Avengers. I like that idea if that's what they're doing. And she would fit with that. So
I don't remember what it's called. There is this like it's like an audio experience podcast with Marvel that they did. It's on Apple Podcasts, and they actually do something like that. But it's like very old. Like the Avengers are very older at that point, so it's something cool that everybody should, you know, read up on and kind of look at it, because it kind of touches on that. Like, you know, Doomsday, he kind of creates these bad Avengers to kind of like take over the world type of thing. So